In the latest episode of Jinn Ki Shadi, reality and the supernatural draw closer than ever. Episode 15 takes the story to a point where faith, fear, and destiny meet. Wahaj Ali and Sehar Khan deliver performances that explore what happens when promises made in another world begin to affect the living. This is a story where silence speaks louder than screams and every shadow hides a forgotten truth. The drama began as a tale blending folklore with modern belief. It explored how unseen forces, known as jinns in South Asian culture, can become tied to human emotions and relationships. Rayan, played by Wahaj Ali, is a man unknowingly connected to an ancient pact. Mehar, portrayed by Sehar Khan, steps into his life just as the consequences of that pact begin to unfold. Until now, Mehar tried to help Rayan escape strange events, disappearing shadows, whispers, dreams that seemed too real. But this episode shifts the focus. It's no longer just about haunting. It's about inheritance, family honor, and the price of promises made generations ago. The episode opens with Rayan standing alone in the courtyard, facing the family shrine. The air is still, the sound minimal. Then he hears a voice calling his name, a voice he has known since childhood. Far away, Mehar wakes from a dream, terrified. Her grandmother rushes in, asking what she saw. Mehar can't describe it, only that someone was being called to a wedding that isn't his. The words are strange, but they set the tone for everything that follows. Later, Rayan finds an old letter behind a family portrait. The handwriting is fading, but the message is clear. The promise made under the moon must be fulfilled, or the bond will claim its due. His father finally explains the truth. 2 generations ago, Rayan's great-grandfather made a desperate bargain with a jinn to save the family from ruin. In return, he promised that one of his descendants would marry the jinn's daughter. That promise was never broken. It was only forgotten. From that moment, things begin to unravel. Doors close by themselves. Shadows linger where they shouldn't. In one unsettling moment, Rayan's reflection speaks to him, whispering that the wedding preparations have already begun. Meanwhile, Mehar seeks guidance at the mosque. The imam listens carefully, then tells her, "Don't fight the jinn. Understand the promise." That single line defines the entire episode. It's not about war. It's about understanding and release. Determined, Mehar returns to Rayan and insists they try a ritual to end the curse. At midnight, they light candles at the shrine. The verses of the Quran echo in the wind. But as the ritual begins, the air changes. The candles flicker. The ground trembles. And then from the shadows she appears, the jinn bride. She is not a monster. She is ethereal, graceful, her eyes faintly glowing. For a moment, she looks more human than spirit. When she speaks, her voice is calm and filled with sorrow. "You think I want this union? I was promised, not asked." That one sentence changes everything. The jinn bride is not an enemy, but another prisoner of the same vow. Rayan steps forward, his fear replaced by empathy. "Then let us both be free," he says. The screen fades to black. The final sound is distant wedding drums echoing through the night. Episode 15 isn't about horror, it's about consequence. It shows that ancient decisions still shape the present. It's about promises made in desperation and the courage needed to break them. The story reminds viewers that even unseen beings long for freedom and choice. Wahaj Ali's performance captures both terror and compassion. Sehar Khan's quiet strength grounds the entire narrative. Their chemistry turns fear into something deeply human. The direction, slow and deliberate, avoids jump scares. Instead, it builds emotion through silence, through the smallest glance or flicker of light. The writing deserves praise for its depth. Instead of painting the jinn as evil, it shows her as bound by duty and sorrow. That twist gives the story emotional weight and challenges old ideas about good and evil. It's not about defeating darkness, it's about understanding it. The cultural layers in Jinn Ki Shadi make it unique. In South Asian families, stories about jinns are part of tradition, told in whispers, half believed, half feared. But this drama transforms those myths into something reflective, something about human guilt and redemption. Even the sponsor's presence feels symbolic. Sunsilk, a brand associated with transformation, aligns naturally with Mehar's character, someone who faces fear not through confrontation, but through quiet faith and self-belief. By the end of the episode, the viewer realizes this isn't a story about possession. It's a story about freedom. It's about breaking cycles and redefining fate. The final image, darkness, wind, and the echo of drums, leaves one haunting question behind. Has Rayan broken the promise or only begun a new one? Jinn Ki Shadi continues to stand out in a crowded landscape of supernatural dramas. It doesn't rely on spectacle. It relies on emotion, performance, and quiet mystery. Each episode digs deeper into the idea that some bonds can't be broken by force, only by understanding. As the story moves forward, one truth becomes clear. Not every haunting is meant to terrify. Some come to remind us that the past still breathes, waiting to be heard.